these guys. I think I have just enough though. Oh, wait. Okay, I got 22. And he wants 27. Oh, I should have let him put things on sale first. How do I make 5 emeralds? I didn't want to do this. But I am ready to be done with this. A creeper, that's what I get. Oh boy, I finally used an arrow. Ugh. It's not like I have torches all over or anything. Not you. Where's the other dude? Did he die? They all keep dying. Nope. That was the chocolate strawberry, by the way. I said I would show you one. Sometimes in this case I boat over to the next village over and sell it to them. Because this is ridiculous. Okay. Where's your station, man? There's no way this was his farm, and he roamed that far. Don't you dare jump back in there. Here's the thing. Take it. Or you take it, whatever. Someone should buy this from me, thank you. Sell potato, or buy potatoes, or something. Can you use it? No? Why not? He's a holding coins in his hand trying to trade. It's like, I'm trying to trade you, dude. Thank you. He doesn't sell, or he doesn't buy potatoes. Okay, popping in. I had to open the recording file here for a possible emergency situation on the world. I am in here trying to enchant my armor, and honestly, I just now, minutes ago, put on my diamond armor that I had finished enchanting everything but the chest plate, and I wonder if I would have died if I hadn't have done that. I thought that the room was safe, and I kept myself like locked up in dirt while I was waiting for stuff to spawn in the like little killing chamber, but then I just had finally like, I don't need to do that. It's nice and bright in here. And then I saw myself get hit because I got two monitors going. I saw myself get hit and I thought like that's weird. Like I know the monsters have thorns sometimes, but I didn't hit them this time and it sounded like an arrow. So I look around the room and for some reason, let me get a sword in my hand just in case. There is a dude in here with a trident. And I'm gonna put some blocks down real quick. I think now, after I've had a moment to think about it, I've realized how he got in here. I kind of wish oh wait, no, I can just put that on. I wish I had access to my anvil, because I actually am holding a book of looting that I could add to my sword right now. I wonder if I can get around him and do that, because I wouldn't mind having a trident. No, let's do dirt. And my shield's in good health right now, so I'm going to say, hey dude, hi. Yeah, okay, he's not really focusing too much on me because I'm not in water, so that was actually lucky. I still wish I could grab that right there. Let's go ahead and try to ignore all the zombie noises. Slap some loot on. Bop him in the head. Did I get it? Nice. Did I get it though? No trident for me. So I think what happened is that lazy entrance that I had to get in here, I think he spawned out here. And just happened to swing his way in. I don't think that'll happen again, but I think he spawned out here and just kind of happened to, yeah, like that guy right there. While walking around, probably just kind of got close enough to where the current would like suck him in here, but even that's still, no, the current doesn't hit me at this point. He had to really try to go after me. So anyway, I think this is how he came in, so I might have to start blocking it off a bit better. That makes me sad. When you're standing in these, it's good to have, or it's good to know that you can turn the sounds down, because they get annoying very quickly. But I wouldn't turn them down too much, just so that in case something like that would happen, you can be a little more prepared for it. Oh, do I have sweeping edge in here now? I think I do. Oh, way better. As far as my enchanting goes, I got respiration on my helmet, which is what I wanted. Then the boots, they have feather falling 4, which is the most important. I like to try and get depth strider if I can. And then I prefer to try and split between fire protection and blast protection on my armor. And so I just got to work on the chest plate and then mix some books together, and I think I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm a little sad that I got sweeping edge on this sword at the same time as sharpness, because I usually like doing smite, but I'll go ahead and go with sharpness this time around. I hope it does about the same as smite 5 if I do sharpness 5. Oh, but yeah, that's all I popped in, was to show you the weird trident situation. Alright, this may be one of the last few updates before we get on with the main business. I feel like this has gone on a little bit longer than I thought. Let's go ahead and pop into the F3 menu and take a look here. I am on day 88, and I actually thought that was going to be a much higher number if I'm honest with you. I was expecting like 200 or 300. But we are pretty close to coming to a close on this little how-to hardcore series, and my food needs to cook faster because boy is my guy hungry. You can even see I'm just like pacing around like, come on, oh, cook faster. There were a few things I wanted to try and not forget, but I'm only remembering one of them right now. Eat, 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 eat. That was loud. I think ever since I had a run-in with the trident drowned what's his face in my spawner, and I explained the volume thing, it's been kind of loud ever since. So hopefully that's not very loud. Let's get a few more of these cooking. So I definitely am going to need food to go in and, you know, fight the Ender Dragon and possibly do the end city type of stuff. So I am cooking up some food, and this thing is fishing some for me at a reasonable pace. Why am I? Okay. I just got done selling a bunch of it. I really should have just been cooking instead. But like I said, there was something that I wanted to point out. I think you may have noticed it in that last time lapse, but I wanted to show it one more time. So instead of cooking more after this, I'll just go ahead and head on over there. There we go. So in the last like time lapse or two, there's been a dirt pillar over here because that was supposed to remind me not to forget, but I am so oblivious to those things that I totally forgot. At first, when we built the strip mine down here, what did I just swipe at? I ran into... Oh, hey, look, there's a creeper down there. I ran into, I believe it was this tunnel here, and maybe another one. I don't know. I have lots of tunnels now because I kept needing to come back in here. It was this one right here. I ran into this and thought it was really insanely lucky that I ran into the stronghold here. I thought, what are the odds I was going to run into that? And then I dug a little bit deeper, found out that I was going to run into it anyway, and then on a few other occasions I dug out in other directions as well, found out that I would have run into it over there, and I would have run into it down there, and down there, and then even a little bit higher when I needed some more stone again, ran into it down there, ran into it down there. So I guess it wasn't as rare as I thought. I was like, oh man, if I was one block over, I wouldn't have seen this. But then while swimming around here, where this dirt column is, I wanted to show you that if I just did more swimming around here, I would have seen it popping out of the water right here. And this is one of my favorite things, when you can see a stronghold sticking into the bed of the ocean here. It just looks so menacing and ominous under the ocean like that. I've tried to do a little bit more swimming around, and that's the only part of it that I can see sticking out, but I was pretty excited to find that. And that was just supposed to remind me to show it to you, but I've been forgetting for a while. Also during that time lapse, you may have noticed that I had to very sadly come to face with my own master gardener. I just saw a zombie villager coming after me, and thought for a moment that I could finally use that name tag I picked up to save one. But then I noticed that he had his master badge on him, and I realized, like, oh no, this is one of mine. And I could have tried to do some stuff to save him, like give him the name tag, try and make the potions and stuff, but honestly, we're near the end of this little let's play, or near the end of this guide, and I don't really need these guys so much anymore. I have my whole set of armor here, finally. Again, I think maybe it might be better to go mining for that stuff. And also, if you wanted to make emeralds for these guys, it would have been a good idea to get the zombie flesh from my spawner and get started with that first. I was neglecting doing that because I saw I was already level 41, and I thought, like, oh no, I need to get other stuff done before I go in there and start enchanting. I need the armor to enchant. But it would have been better if I just kept leveling and getting the zombie flesh to sell to this guy in here. With that being said, the cleric in here that I would be selling the flesh to, on occasion, I think it's like a 1 out of 3 chance or so that he'll give you this trade for an ender pearl, which is exactly what we needed for this, because fighting endermen can be very dangerous. So I think that this is probably one of the more pivotable things to get from the villager, and it just makes it so much easier than running around at night all over the place trying to find endermen, or trying to trek the nether for them. Sometimes it's much easier to do this. And so we got 12 ender pearls, which is how much we would need if the portal that we find has absolutely 0 on it. Sometimes you can find a few pearls already put into it. So while we wait on that, let's go ahead and craft up the ender pearls into ender eyes. I think you should get about 14 or 15 of them if you don't already know where a stronghold is, because as you are throwing the ender eyes, they do break sometimes. And getting distracted with crafting. There we go. As you throw the ender eyes, they will break sometimes, and it's good to keep just a few extra on you in case they do break on your way there. I don't think you need that many more, because so long as you're traveling a good 300 or 400 blocks while you're on the way there, or before throwing each ender eye, you should be pretty good to make it. And like I said, I'm going to pop into a different world to show you the traveling to find one kind of thing, so you'll see that in just a moment, but still got to get this world ready for it. Other things that we need, I noticed the pumpkin that I have been keeping for this is actually a jack-o'-lantern. There's a pumpkin. I used to try and gather up a bunch of snow to get ready for this fight, but it is not as useful as I think it once was. The last time I constructed a ton of snowmen, the dragon flew by and took them all out in one shot, so that was really sad. And I've done this fight a few more times, so it's gotten a little bit easier. So I think first what we should do is just put all of our stuff in a chest and decide what stuff we want to keep and what stuff we want to take. So I think I see where I put this fence here. The villagers are still getting hurt because they can walk right here across this, and that's hurting them. But at this point, if that's what they want to do, then I'll let them. Because I am done with them. I am done with them on multiple levels. I am just physically and mentally done with these guys. So I put away most things, almost got done with that. I realized that I collected a bunch of blaze rods, and I think I misunderstood the fact that they convert into 2 blaze powder each, so I might have actually gotten way more than I needed to. But in other worlds, I also didn't know exactly where Stronghold was, so it probably better safe than sorry kind of thing. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Don't need that. That's pretty good. I'm gonna take some of these things. Oops. Gonna drink the nasty ocean water out of them. Because if you are bored during the dragon fight, you can actually collect some of his dragon breath inside of these, so that's good to take with you. And see how my food is going. And let's go ahead and turn all these ender pearls into ender eyes. I probably should have been making some of these into ender chests, and put one at my zombie spawner and one at the cleric's house, because I actually do still have like half a chest full of zombie flesh to sell to these guys, but I don't really need to now. I got enough for the ender pearls, and I think I have 16 emeralds left over, and so I guess I could potentially have almost another stack if I did want to go through the whole process of selling all that. But at best I could make like a weaponsmith or something, and or if I really wanted to try and test my luck, I could get a Fletcher and see what sort of crazy arrow he would sell me. But on our bow, I did include infinity so that my 9 arrows will be good enough for what we're about to do. I also got some wood, I got the pumpkin, got a sword, which now has knockback 2 for creepers, looting 3 just for better stuff, sweeping edge for when I was training in there, sharpness 4. Didn't feel like working on the sharpness 5, because honestly I'm not really going to be hitting a lot of things with the sword. Then we got that for the dragon's breath, we got the ender eyes, got iron for who knows what, and you always carry your diamonds on you. Got 1 golden apple, compass, a ton of blocks. That's something that would be helpful for this. Let's get a ton of blocks. Probably like 4 stacks should be enough, right? Yeah. I don't think I need a shovel for anything in this case. I just have an iron pickaxe because my diamond one pretty much broke, and I don't really need it anymore, so I didn't bother with trying to make another one. Definitely bring gunpowder and paper. I'm a little scared at how little gunpowder I have, so I might be trying to get some more of that just before we go in there. Don't think I need flint and steel, but it can come in handy sometimes. So I think that's really wrapping it up here. We are finally just about done. I just gotta get the food now and some gunpowder, and that'll be it. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I'm gonna cut it off there until the next episode, which will be up real soon.